rolling with a neat finish. Doyle gets the look and knocks it down. Cotton bounce pass for Humphries, rolling inside again.
Golding lets one fly.
Wow. Cotton elevates and peels off the triple and Adelaide back on top. Golding fires and knocks down the triple. Are we going to extra time? Oh, Illy's stolen to the chance for Melbourne here. They get it to Doyle. Tries to draw contact, can't finish it. Extra time it is. And we're into overtime. Cotton elevates and knocks down a shot.
That is ridiculous.
Golding gets down low. Hello. Fast break. Doyle. Oh, Cotton stole it.
Wow.
And it's an offensive foul on Bryce Cotton. And he's out of the game.
Oh, boy,
Cotton
what a
fouls out for the first time in his career. 5 of 5 from the field. He's got 8 boards as well. And Melbourne have coughed it up. Now Cameron takes him on. That's exquisite. The Adelaide 36ers stamp their authority at the top of the NBL ladder. Wow.
For a large part of this NBL 26 season, it has been Melbourne and Adelaide. Adelaide and Melbourne, take your pick between these two teams. But since December has rolled around and January has taken hold, questions now being asked of both Melbourne and Adelaide and whether they are good enough to come away with a chip at the end of NBL 26. Tonight is a massive game for both teams, and Melbourne United back on their home floor for the first time since December 23. A big hello and welcome to Saturday Night Hoops, a sellout at John Cain Arena. I'm Jack Heron alongside the living legends Andrew Gaze and Leonard Copeland. Great to have both of you with us tonight. This is one hell of a ball game.
It's tasty, isn't it? And 46 days since we had a game here at John Cain Arena.
Wow.
And Melbourne United throughout that period, they've ridden the highs and lows, which is the NBL this season. And it's not as if, when I've watched them, they've played poorly. They just haven't been able to get as many wins as they would like, and the expectations have been really high. And you can, outside of 1 or 2 really poor games by the Adelaide 36ers, they haven't been terrible. Even that loss they had on a couple of days ago in Illawarra, it was just a lapse of defense in that last quarter. They led the game for 98% of the game and just weren't able to get over the line.
Coach, there are stars all over the floor, none bigger in the NBL than this guy right now, Bryce Cotton, who had a chance to win it for them on Thursday night in Illawarra.
Absolutely, and he's been a fantastic player over the last 4 or 5 years. But here's the thing, when you got Shea Ely back for Melbourne United, he's got some work to do because Shea loves to play against Bryce Cotton. But the thing is, Bryce Cotton loves Melbourne. For some strange reason, he loves to come to town and do his job.
And then on the other side of the floor, Drewy, it's Chris Golding tonight. In a big game, he's got a massive tendency in these big games to have a little something extra up there. How have you viewed his season? Here are his last 4 games. So 16-3, 13-9. There's been a bit of everything in there.
It's inconsistent, isn't it? But one thing is that they've had a 7-day break before this game. So he's going to have had an opportunity to rest, get focused, and he is not going to get overawed by the circumstance. Packed crowd, and what's at stake for his team. They still, now, they need things to go their way. They still could possibly finish in the top 2, believe it or not. Now, that's a long shot, but they certainly would want to get into that 3rd place position to give themselves a home court advantage to go straight into a semi-final series.
We are just about ready to go here at John Cain Arena. Kelsey Brown is courtside with us tonight. Kelsey, a massive game. You can feel it in the air.
Absolutely, you can feel it in the air. I've been teasing it throughout the whole pre-game. The tension in here is palpable, but you talk about the stars on the floor, Jack Heron. There are plenty in that front court. Zylan Cheatham averaging a double-double for Adelaide. He really is the heart and soul of that 36ers team. And then on the other side of things, we heard Dean Bickerman say the man for Melbourne United has been Jesse Edwards. He's been the man that's pulled them over the line. He was in Derek Rucker's top 15, questionable there, but he's going to need a big game tonight up against 2 massive players for the 36ers.
Both players are going to have a massive say in what it looks like for both of their teams as we have a look at the starting 5s, Leonard, particularly for Melbourne United. Just tell us what it's going to do for them tonight to be back on their home floor. Dash Daniel starting again, by the way.
Look, Chris loves this venue. It's all about the fans and him knocking down. Imagine him coming in here knocking down the first 2 or 3 threes. These people go crazy, and then Adelaide have a job to do.
For the Adelaide 36ers, Drew, disappointment on Thursday night in Illawarra. Their starting 5 has been pretty settled for the last couple of weeks. They're now going with John Jenkins as a starter instead of Isaac White.
Yeah, and you look at that lineup and you say, well, who's the man that's going to be in Chris Golding's jock the whole night to make sure that he doesn't get hot? And I don't know whether they can all do a good, decent job, but they don't have that real.
They don't have a stopper.
lockdown,
They don't have a stopper.
hard-nosed stopper.
That's right.
Our referees for tonight, Ruben Woolcock, James Griggle and Michael Aylan. 10,500 fans, stand as one at John Cain Arena. Marquee matchup for Saturday night hoops. Melbourne and Adelaide. The winner of this game can breathe a sigh of relief. For the loser, the season gets a little more challenging. Humphrey sends that one out of there. Cheatham's pass was deflected out of play.
I think it actually, did it turn off John Jenkins? Oh, their foot violation. So they've deemed that was an intentional kick of the ball.
Saw Melbourne coach Dean Vickerman on screen. He was relaxed in the pre-game. Not so relaxed now.
Oh!
Very nearly ended someone.
Come on, brother. Almost ended me. Wow.
You could see that coming from a long way out. Just couldn't finish it off. Edwards at the other end.
These guys got to go to school to learn how to dunk. What's going on here now?
Well, they're both high enough, Copes. This is perhaps just a little overexcited by.
He got too high, didn't he?
He did, and he just threw it into the back of the rim.
Big offensive rebound by Dash Daniels, and the next star has the first points of the night.
And that's where they got an advantage. If Bryce is going to guard Dash, half of his challenge is going to be trying to keep him off the glass.
And this guy, Flynn Cameron's just been magnificent the whole season. I think the best thing he could have done was leave Melbourne United. Now, look, Dean got him to where he was, but that playing time for him, it's just made him a much better player.
No, spot on. And really, it's just been opportunity. I think he was capable of this last season as well, but just the people he had ahead of him, it's hard to get him in the rotation.
For the season, Flynn Cameron is plus 245.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's an insane plus-minus ratio across this NBL 26 season. Most improved player when we get to awards night. He is going to be right in the thick of that conversation. Many have got him as the leader. Golding turns the corner. Threw it behind the back for Delaney. The ball's moving. Golding relocates.
That's the one I'm talking about right there. It's hard for a new guy to come into this league and guard Chris Golding.
That's a breakdown. There's no way Chris Golding should be that open. And you're right. It's your fundamentals. You get on the split line, and there it is, Copes.
That's what we've been waiting on right there.
Down the middle. That's twice. It should have been two made, but that one there is perhaps a little less emotional about the dunk.
So was Copes. Delaney was stripped. There's Island Cheatham. Been a great personality in the league. Signed a 2-year extension, which he told us about in the pre-game. So he'll be here for a while. And there's the benchmark getting busy.
Well, we've been talking about this all season. One of the problems that Melbourne United have had is guarding the three-point line. And that was another example of it. That Bryce coming off a pick or a handoff, you need to have a lot of help from whoever's picking or handing it off.
It's an interesting matchup for both of these teams because the questions that are being asked about them are at the defensive end of the floor, particularly Adelaide. In their last few games, they gave up 100 on Thursday, Copes, against Illawarra. 97 against Southeast Melbourne, 74 against Brisbane, that's an anomaly. 106 against Sydney and 110 against New Zealand in their last portion of games.
And everyone's surprised, but this team just isn't built to play defense. Man, they got scores all over the floor. You get them the ball. Remember in the beginning of the season when they said LA was going to outscore every team? That's the way they're built right now. So, yes, they got to play better defense, but if they're putting the ball in the hole, that could be your defense too.
Now, spot on. And Isaac Humphries gets called for a moving screen.
They've been hot on that all season long, the officials. Let's have another look.
It is, and there you see him. Oh, just a little late. The idea was right. Just needed to turn a step earlier.
Walker goes exploring. And it drops. Melbourne take the lead back. 8-7 early stages. everything. Little two-man game between Cotton and Cheatham. Humphries can't finish off. It was the tip-in that hurt them on Thursday.
Come on, Cheatham. Don't be lazy now. Get up.
And Delaney unloads an early three.
Pretty shot.
It is, and he went through a bit of a shooting slump too over the last month or so, and had some down games, but he's more than capable. He's had an outstanding season.
Look at the way Bryce Cotton finds ways to score.
He put that English on that ball in, didn't he?
It's just a feel for the game that it's hard to teach.
Delaney might have got away with one there. Walker steps into the three. Melbourne have knocked down 3 from deep in the first quarter. When they hit 12 or more, they've won their last 7.
Yeah. Wow, that's rare. Now, he's shown throughout the course of the season he can knock it down, and he was wide open. It looks like Dean Vickerman's prepared to, early on, give him that 3-ball. If Cheatham starts knocking down the 3-ball, coach, that'll open things up.
And he's had a couple of games where he got loose. I think he needs to be a little bit more aggressive anyway. He can do it. He's one of those players that just does whatever you need.
John Jenkins with his first points of the night.
Yeah, Cheatham only averages 1 3-point field goal attempt per game.
He's had 30 for the season coming into tonight.
Yeah.
So that was not on the first quarter bingo card.
Jury had 30 in the first 2 games, 30 on the season.
I just hope people at home will just go to the archive and check the data out.
Are you kidding me? 30 for the season, Jack? Wow.
No, that's not many, but that's what, like, your point is valid. He's not there to do that, but he is capable enough to keep the defense honest. And it seems tonight, whether it's by his own decision-making, that, or perhaps Mike Wells has had a word to him about being a whole lot more aggressive, because he's come out, he's already taken 4 field goal attempts, 2 or 4 from the field, and he seems in a more offensive-minded mindset.
Yep. Very interesting body language, Copes, coming from the Adelaide bench. We saw John Jenkins was a little miffed about being subbed out. Isaac Humphries was having a long and animated chat with Kerry Williams, the assistant coach. That they are a tense team tonight, Adelaide.
They are tense, and people are watching. People are commenting. Because anytime you see any problem, you know, you're going to say something about it. But I just think Isaac, for example, Isaac, they even look at him once. You got to get him going early, because then he'll rebound for you. He'll block shots for you. He'll run the floor for you. Let him touch the ball to feel like he's a part of it.
Well, he's played, what, 4 minutes and didn't have a stat coach. But this fella here has been the focus for the Sixers.
And it's working for them. 7 points for Zylan Cheatham early on.
Oh, that's just a push down.
Golding falls over. Vasiljevic a little clumsy with that. Still just, we're just sitting not too far away from the Adelaide bench. There is still a level of animated conversation going on with this playing group. They've lost 5 of their last 7. They need a win tonight. Both teams need a win tonight.
Yeah. There's talent everywhere. Expectations is high.
And that'll be an offensive foul against Melbourne this time. So consistency. Humphries at one end. Kyle Bowen whistled up at the other.
When you hand the ball off, you better just hand it off and then count to 2 before you roll, or else you're going to get pinged for a moving screen.
Milton Doyle into the game for Melbourne, continuing to come off the bench. Rakocevic also in. Cameron for a wide open Zylan Cheatham. Not that time. O-board from Rakocevic. And Flynn Cameron tries his luck and knocks it down.
And Dean wants a timeout straight away. This place is like Cameron's second home.
What helps when you familiar rings, familiar environment, and a little extra motivation to perhaps show your former coach that they could have been a little bit more aggressive to maintain his services.
3 years at Melbourne United for Flynn Cameron, but now has become an extremely important cog in the Adelaide 36ers lineup. coming into this season and a big bucket to make. It forces Melbourne to call an early timeout, and Dean Vickerman did not look happy.
Absolutely. Dean's focused on the defensive side of things. Yes, he wants guys to score, but you can't let Adelaide score that easily because they got some talent all around.
Well, there's an urgency about everything with Melbourne United right now, and Dean Vickerman's no exception. And you look at the form line since round 16, 7 games, 2 wins, 5 losses. You don't have to be a basketball savant to know that that's not good.
What'd you say in the pregame? Suboptimal? I think you added a few extra vowels to that as well, though.
Did I?
If it was a game of Wheel of Fortune, it'd be really long on the board.
Well, it's...
Either way, 2 and 5's not great.
No, it's not. And there's been a couple of horror games in there, but some of them it's just been, we're in a really tight league where there's a lot of parity, and you're gonna lose some games when you play well.
Come back to that in a second. Kelsey Brown, you're listening to Dean Vickerman.
I was. It was all about the O-boards for Dean Vickerman. He looked straight at Milton Doyle and said, you have to get that one. So he's asking for a lot more on that defensive end.
Travel.
Shea Ili travels his first possession of the game. Let's go back to Adelaide for a second. Drew, it doesn't sound like you've jumped out of the canoe yet for Adelaide. What about you, Coach?
No, not at all.
No.
Are you still with them?
I'm still with them. I think they can win it. But at the end of the day, there's other teams can win it as well. And, you know, Adelaide were on fire for a long time. Teams are starting to figure them out. They've had some injuries, Drewy. They brought on some new players. And a little bit of rumbling with the coaches. And if all that's true.
Alleged.
Then there's going to be problems. Guys are wanting more playing time. No defense. There's a lot of problems, but there's a lot of good things going on down in Adelaide as well, though.
Southeast Melbourne and Sydney tomorrow. By the end of round 20, the Mitsubishi Motors ladder is really going to start to take shape.
Well, right now, those two teams, a lot of, on current form, are predicting that that's your grand final matchup.
First quarter that Silent Cheatham's having. That's 9 now on 4 of 7 shooting.
He just jumps so easily, man.
The coach, I think they need to reevaluate their strategy because they're letting him three-point line, penetration, dunks on the rim.
Well, you know how it is, Drewy, when a guy's not scoring a lot, then you focus on the other guys and say, I got to shut these guys down. They may have said, look, if he's going to take that three, let him take it, but he's knocking him down, so again, ooh.
It's not really the three ball, it's the aggressiveness. The 4 attacks on the rim where he's missed a dunk and missed a little bunny, and then that last one is as easy as you can get. Took one dribble, gets to the front of the no-charge circle and basically makes a layup.
Well, he's on a trampoline, Drewy, so it's pretty hard to guard.
36 is by 4.
You got to get your hand up.
Vasiljevic trying to get open. That's an off-balance 3.
Oh.
Krislovic did a reasonable job to keep Cheatham off the glass. Ili with his feet set. No good. Melbourne 3 of 6 from long range in the opening quarter. And then Ili got a hand in at the other end and picked the pocket of Bryce Cotton. Numbers up ahead. Melbourne score.
And that's a great find by Shea Ili. He could have gone in and finished it himself, but he gets Milton Doyle an easy one to start. He starts to feel a little bit better about himself, gets some confidence into Milton Doyle, which is much needed.
And that's what Shea does, though. Shea's one of those guys that can change a team.
Cheatham still being afforded some room as Isaac White gets in deep. He loses the handle. Krebs steps back. He's deep on the 3 ball. Adelaide have just had a ropey couple of possessions at the offensive end. Standing around. 5 on the shot clock here for Rakocevic, who's trying to make something happen and manages to draw a foul. Let's get over to Kelsey.
Just on that Shea Ili steal, that's what he brings to this Melbourne United team. I spoke to Jesse Edwards prior to the game and I said, why is it so big that Shea Ili is back? The numbers do not lie when he's in the team. They are a better side when he plays, and that's why. That's what he can do, that Amy replay there. But he spoke about this and just the energy and the infectiousness. that he brings to this team. He is such an important puzzle to this championship run.
That layup misses your fault, Kelsey. Then Bryce Cotton burns him at the other end.
A 5-point play, a wide open layup that Shea Illy's going to make 98 times out of 100.
That's just timing because he hasn't been on the floor.
The ultimate commentator's curse. Then Doyle throws it out of bounds. We don't often see a Humphries and Rakocevic lineup out there together. What's the thinking here for Mike Wells, perhaps?
Size, I mean, rebounds. I still think you got to get Isaac going, though. You got to let him touch this ball. Because we know he, remember in the beginning of the season, Jack, when he was getting the ball a lot, they were winning.
Time it's Isaac White who misses out on the layup, and then it's knocked out of play.
Mike Wells didn't like that decision by White.
Less than 2 minutes remaining in this opening quarter. Two heavyweights that are just feeling each other out and starting to land a few blows.
If you look at Adelaide's lineup, really there's nobody out there trying to play any defense at all.
Bryson Walker trying to play a lot of defense against Bryce Cotton. Jesse Edwards got a piece of him on the way through.
I think that might be a little harsh, Coach. I think that they're attending. They send the double team down low and they get beat on it, but that's a clear foul. And Bryce Cotton does a great job of reading the defense and jumping into the opponent. And clearly a foul, but it's well executed.
Well, the 36ers have got another one on the agenda, and that is the Ignite Cup final. They'll play the New Zealand Breakers on February the 22nd, the Gold Coast Convention and Exhibition Centre. $400,000 up for grabs. 60% is going to the players, and if you want to be there, you can still get your tickets.
$400,000. Huh. Nice little weekend in Vegas, huh?
Just makes me think about what Leonard Copeland could do with that amount of money on Cavill Avenue. Better make the hangover look tame.
Oh, brother.
Adelaide by 5. Doyle can't cut that margin back. Great scrapping by Edwards, who's taking on 4 36ers.
We mentioned about getting Isaac Humphries. I'd say the same about Jesse Edwards, who's been on a tear. Last 3 or 4 games, he's probably been their best player. And he's 0 for 1, hasn't seen a lot of it.
Cotton found room and then threw a bullet inside for Rakocevic.
Great pass.
Cubs, you raised some questions about Adelaide's defense. Right now, Melbourne United, they've given up 28 points in the quarter already, and they may not be done yet.
It's been that end of the floor that's been the significant drop-off for both teams. They can both score, but can they stop the opposition from doing the exact same thing? Shot clock at 4 for Flynn Cameron. Steps back on Edwards. Smart play from Rakocevic. Got it away with 0.1 left on the shot clock.
Fantastic.
Bryce Cotton gets a quick breather. You look at Bryce and that game against the Illawarra Hawks where he was absolutely superb again. Missed the game winner, and you just wonder if they could have found a couple of minutes more rest for him. Now, it doesn't always equate to that, but just, I think between now and the start of the playoffs, it would be a real change because, you know, he's averaging 38 minutes a game. And if that's 35 instead of 38, maybe that last shot's a little easier.
And what's different now, though, Drew, the looking shot, is teams are playing him differently.
Fascinating first quarter at John Cain Arena, 29-23 at quarter time. Huge game for both Melbourne United and the Adelaide 36ers. Two teams trying to get their form back in the right spot at the right time of year. Saturday night hoops here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Stick with us. This one's going to be fun.
anticipated matchup here for Saturday Night Hoops in the Hungry Jacks NBL. 29 plays 23. The Adelaide 36ers with a 6-point lead after one term in this one. Bryce Cotton is a solid 100% from the field. It doesn't get much better than that. He leads the game with 10 points. And I listened into Dean Vickerman. They have problems when it comes to Bryce Cotton. Too many wide open layups, too many wide open threes, and they spoke about O-boards and foul discipline on the other end. Plenty for Melbourne United to clean up.
Yeah, there certainly is, Kels. They trail by 6. There's an easy bucket for Tyson Walker.
Well, they're having some problems because anytime there's a low post catch, they're sending the double team, and they're able to swing the ball out of the double team really quickly, and they're playing catch up and got exposed on that last possession.
What a great record here at John Cain Arena. The Adelaide 36ers, Melbourne have won 19 of the last 22 against Adelaide in this venue.
And that's Isaac's first shot. And he takes a bad shot because that's the only time he touched the ball, Jack.
Great hands by Cheatham when he goes up. That's on the rim. He whacks it away. They can't figure out whose ball it is, so it'll go with the possession arrow.
4 people, I don't see who comes up.
And you'd much rather that than have him guess. There you see the hit off the rim.
I got 4 people.
Round 6, it was Melbourne by 1 point here at John Cain Arena. In round 12, it was Adelaide by 9 in overtime at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre. Cheatham rolls and scores with 1 to come.
Oh, dear.
He just does the right thing, goes straight into the chest of Jesse Edwards. Have a look at this, the pick and roll, they're in a drops. So he just goes straight in. Edwards not quite in position. And that's a and 1. 2 fouls now on Edwards, which will make Dean Vickerman think about it a little.
Right now, Zylan Cheatham. He's the man for the Adelaide 36ers. That's 12 points. Had 21 and 12 when they played in round 6, 13 and 9 in round 12. So he has been a problem for Melbourne in both matchups this season. Walker sent out of there again by Humphries, much like the opening possession of the game. 36ers with a little bit of momentum. Jenkins, not a man that you should leave open. He's deep on the 3.
Well, here's another one, Cope said, one of those 50-50 ones, but hasn't seen a lot of it. Not sure how, and think maybe concerned, well, what's my playing time going to be like? I want to contribute, so he forces one up.
And sometimes when you have too much scoring power on the floor, Jack, you run into those problems. Guys feel like they want to contribute, they want to help score, and they end up taking bad shots.
You had exactly the same vision. I thought he was straight up. No, his arms are straight up. He doesn't stop his hand, go chasing the ball.
So Isaac Humphries comes out of the game again here, Copes. Now, this is something that you and I were talking about off-air in our extensive pre-game production meeting. Does he see enough of the ball?
No, and look, no one's saying anything wrong here, but Isaac comes off the floor and rolls his eyes as if to say, me again. Or maybe he's just disgusted that he didn't do something right, but you got to get him going early. He played for us in Sydney. We know what kind of guy he is. He'll play hard for you, but you got to get him involved, man. Make him feel like he's a part of it.
And he's certainly best in the pick and roll situation. Bryce Cotton had 13 assists in the last game, 8-second violation. That's that defense, the extended defense, and Dean Vickerman gets up and about to positively reinforce the work of Dash Daniels.
Starting tonight, Shea Ely did a pre-game fitness test and is right to play, but on limited minutes. So Dash Daniels gets another opportunity, and then Finn Delaney, in the spirit of the Australian Open, with a true unforced error.
Well, it was semi-forced because of the defend on the receiver. But they're the types of ones that you just can't afford when the margins are so small.
32-26. 5 points in this game for Flynn Cameron. Shot clock ticking down. Rakocevic didn't panic and found himself in a nice position. They've got the answers right now, Adelaide.
There's no doubt they can score the rock.
Doyle with a good look for Delaney.
Drew, you're right. Not even looking at Edwards at all. Not even.
And this has been a hallmark, really, as we see Bryce launch a three of Melbourne United this season. They can go through games where scoring just becomes so difficult. Unlike other seasons, they've been able to keep the scoreboard ticking over. They've gone through big chunks of time where they just can't find a way to put the ball in the bucket.
Doyle comes out, Chris Golding back in. He's out there with Edwards, Delaney, Daniels and Walker for Adelaide, Cameron, Cotton, Jenkins, Rakocevic and Cheatham. So 4 of their 5 starters out there for the visitors, who lead by 8. And have had a better second term at both ends. Walker collects his own rebounds and enables Edwards, who plays above the rim.
Every time.
Well, offensive boards, as I said, Mike Wells at the start of the game on the whiteboard to be about rebounding. That's 5 offensive rebounds now for Melbourne United. This is just in the right place at the right time, and another one that might help get Edwards going, but you've got to find a way. Look at all those white jerseys. Yeah, it's a long rebound, but go find someone. Find someone, box out.
Cheatham and Cotton work together, and Bryce runs out of options and ran out of room. 5-on-4 up ahead. Cotton a little sore as well. Golding with an eternity to line it up.
Too long.
And that's what Shea Ely does. You see him looking around for Chris. Wow. For Chris Golding. That's a tough one there.
That was from Cremorne.
Where's that?
It's close to Richmond, which is where we sit tonight. How long have you lived here?
Long time, brother.
Jenkins got open.
Do you think the coach's instructions for Jenkins is to shoot it every time you get it?
Well, maybe not every time, but he's just fine. He only played 17 minutes against the Illawarra Hawks. He had 12 points in those 17 minutes, 4 of 8. And he might be thinking, well, my time might be limited. Court time I'm talking about.
This last touch by Cotton, who looks sore. Went down about a minute earlier and ran up the court. Very ginger. He is as tough as nails, though, Bryce Cotton. It'll take a lot to get him off.
Yeah, absolutely. And 7 offensive rebounds now. We saw Phoenix. What did they have? 21 and a half?
Yes.
This is more than just a coincidence now with the issues that Adelaide are having on the glass, and going to get penalised. The bucket to Chris Golding.
So here's the Bryce Cotton incident. Landed a little gingerly. He's an incredible athlete. He works so hard on his fitness and his recovery and all of those things, Bryce, to be the best that he can be. But he has played a stack of minutes across this season.
He takes a beating, that's for sure.
Well, if you're playing 38 minutes a game and you're the focus on the scout, every single team they're playing against, whoever plays Adelaide, Bryce Cotton is the starting point on how you're going to defend the Adelaide 36ers. And every coach would be saying, we got to be physical with him.
Yep.
We got to grind him down. And look at the efficiency in this one here. 3 of 4, 10 points, and can play through some enormous pressure.
They lead by 4 at the moment, the 36ers. They came up a point short on Thursday night in Illawarra and blew a 16-point lead that they had in that game. For Melbourne United, we haven't seen them since last Friday. They lost in New Zealand by 2 points there. critical game for both. Melbourne with just 3 games left after this, likewise for the Adelaide 36ers. And the problem that both of these two teams have got, Copes, is around them on the Mitsubishi Motors ladder. The teams around them are winning. Southeast Melbourne keep winning, Sydney keep winning, Perth keep winning.
Absolutely.
And that's a problem for these two.
It is, because it adds that extra pressure. And the fact that Adelaide are struggling to get a win. They're playing desperately, though. Drew, they're out here playing like they need this win.
Chris Golding on the line for the bonus. Takes care of that. Kelsey Brown was listening in at that timeout.
It was a frustrated Mike Wells with the foul discipline, but he spoke about Jesse Edwards on the other end of the floor. He's not out there at the moment, but expect when he checks back in, they want to go at him. They've recognised he's got 2 fouls. They want to foul him out of the game. They know that he can be costly in that area.
They've scored the last 5, Melbourne. Flynn Cameron has that one rattle out. Adelaide 4 of 11 from deep, which is not horrible. Melbourne 3 of 14. That is, Golding changes it.
You saw that ball go in. You missed a couple before that. Once you see that ball go in, it's a lot easier to knock that next shot down. So
DJ was guarding him at last possession as Cameron gets in, kisses one off the glass. And so DJ's got the assignment on Chris Golding. He's just reeled off 6 points.
uh-oh, make it 9.
You got away with one there.
That is the probably the wrong guy to be guarding Chris Golding right now.
That is a tough assignment for Vasiljevic. Adelaide still with a slender lead. Oh. Cheatham got checked on the way through, and if that foul's on Kyle Bowen, then that will be 3 on him.
It is. This is a super small lineup that Melbourne United are running with. And the action that they're doing, getting in the pick and roll, trying to identify the roller, is a good one. And that was good. The execution was poor, but what they did there, try to bump the roller and get some help, was appropriate.
Shea Elliott returned last Friday from a hamstring injury.
And Dean said they're going to monitor him. They're not going to run him into the ground. They want him for the playoffs.
Golding unloads right in the face of Vasiljevic.
No, he's got a feeling now that DJ can't guard him. And every time Chris gets it, he's going to be on full-on attack mode.
DJ's capable of hurting him at the other end. Cheatham misses out again.
I got a chat with Cheatham, man.
Action-packed Saturday night here at John Cain Arena. Cotton off the back of the iron. All eyes on Chris Golding this possession because he is heating up. Illy takes matters into his own hands, no good. Cotton with a 1-on-3. DJ with the look that he's after. And the frustration builds. 0 of 4 now for Dejan Vasiljevic, who can't score at one end and has got his hands full at the other. Offensive foul against Melbourne United. Fabian Krislovic, we whistle for that one.
It is. Jenkins coming back in. Gee, wasn't a lot in that one, Cokes, with a moving screen.
I think he got him in the face, though. I think the elbow got him in the side of the head or something.
Edwards back in. Now, see if they go at him. Edwards has been known to get into foul problems, and they do. Poorly.
Missed opportunity there for Adelaide.
Kosovic doesn't like the call, and Melbourne United, now they've secured the lead. Dean Vickerman wants to have a chat about things for the last 2.5 minutes.
37-36. Still to come tomorrow at Southeast Melbourne and Sydney, and then Brisbane and Cairns. It's not too late, though, in the season. With a couple of rounds to go to play, beat the coach, and Look at the smug look on Damon Lowry's
He
face
loves
on screen
it too.
there. Look how smug he is.
Just loves whooping everybody.
Any round in NBL 26, you can score an entry of up to $10,000 in end-of-season prizes. Choice Hotels vouchers, which are superb as well. And if you beat him again, then that's another entry. So even if you haven't played at all this season and you want to knock that smug grin off his face, then scan the QR code and get involved.
He mentioned the other day he's getting a little gray. I see the grays, Damon. Come on, bro. See some dye or something.
Well, when you choose to run 1,000 kilometres a week around your suburb in a weight vest,
yeah,
that's going to add some stress to your life.
Absolutely it is.
I don't see any greys in your hair.
Because I ain't running. I tried to run and crack bang. Calf went out on me, son.
2:24 remaining before half-time. In the minds of both coaches, Drew, Mike Wells and Dean Vickerman, are they, scale of 1 to 10, how happy are they both with the first half?
Both of them would be disappointed. Mike Wells in particular, because they got 6 points up, 7 points up. They established an advantage and weren't able to hold on to it in a low-scoring affair.
John Jenkins into the game. Vasiljevic will sit down, but that won't stop Golding from trying to get busy. Great help, though, from Rakocevic. Adelaide get the ball back and they're trying to take the lead back this trip down the floor. And once again, Isaac Humphries is whistled.
Oh, I don't know about that
An
one.
offensive foul.
I need to see that again. Here you go.
This is just becoming really hard and very advantageous for people just, no, you can't do that.
Yeah, you got it.
But it's a call that has put a lot of more challenges on simple dribble handoffs. And this is not an example of it, but we see a lot of players just running into the screen and getting rewarded.
Yeah.
But that clearly was a foul on Isaac. Just need to keep his hands out.
Kelsey, you were listening in to Dean Vickerman. Scale of 1 to 10, how happy is he?
Well, he's actually not too bad at the moment, the fact that they've closed down this deficit, but it's all about going back to the well with Chris Golding and getting into the bonus that they're in at the moment. He said they want to utilise the opportunities, but can I also say Chris Golding is playing up to the tension on the Adelaide bench at the moment, and we absolutely love it.
Ooh. Is he getting a little chirpy to the bench?
As Rakocevic lets it fly. Coming into tonight, he was 1 of 20 from deep for the season.
And he's got the hands up like he's Steph Curry or somebody. Bro, get back and play some defense. You see him?
I think he was just relieved because he hadn't made one for a long
3 years.
time.
He ain't made one in 3 years.
He was 5% for the season coming into this game.
Did you see my man put the hands up like he was...
He had the double barrel too. It wasn't just a single 3 on the vein. He had both arms up.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. No, we love the personality, though. if I were him, I'd probably wait till he knock down a few more, but there it is.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, man, put him up. You got to guard me, baby.
The Jackal. Running back like he's the Jackal.
2 for the season is a very small sample size. Cotton explodes up to the other end. Oh, unfinished. Rakocevic with a jam. We're seeing all sorts of sallies from him.
He's firing him up, though.
Bryce Cotton wants to spell. He's come up holding his back after that missed transition layup. Mike Wells ignored him.
No, sir.
You got 30 seconds to play, Bryce.
Bryce.
We'll get you a spell at halftime.
You got that $1 million checkbook, son. You got to be out there, son.
At 1.3 or something.
Big opportunity for Adelaide off this possession. Cameron eyes off the clock, and that's not the one they were looking for. But that's the story right now. Bryce Cotton looks in a lot of discomfort with his back as he grimaces as he walks past us.
Just landed awkwardly.
Oh, yeah.
But it was his back.
Yeah.
Just maybe when he landed on that foot, asked for a sub, and they've got him out for the last defensive position. And he's going straight back to the locker room.
And it's a big story as we head to half-time. Golding turns and fires. And Adelaide hang on to a slim 2-point lead at half-time. And Bryce Cotton makes his way back to the Adelaide's change rooms. Mike Wells, their head coach, is trying to rally the troops and trying to keep the vibes high. There is a lot on the line in this game.
Yeah, well, they come into the halftime break with a lead. They'd be grateful for that, and knowing that there's plenty of room for improvement. And again, they got to do it on the defensive end, because United only trail it by 2 and they shot it at 35%.
41-39, let's get over to Kelsey.
Chris, you were down by 6 at quarter time, but you seem to turn it around in that second quarter. Happy with that offensive change?
I don't think offense has been the problem. We're leaking points, giving up O-boards, giving up threes. It's hurting us.
There is a positive, though. Bryce Cotton was kept scoreless in that second term. Can you talk about the effort that Shea Ili puts onto Bryce Cotton and why that's so important for you guys?
Yeah, he's so important to what they do. So we got a pretty heavy game plan in trying to limit his stuff, but still he has individual brilliance moments. So try and limit them, make everything else really hard.
Thanks for your time. 39 plays 41 here at John Cain Arena. Melbourne United with a little bit of work to do in the second half, but the big story is, will Bryce Cotton return in this second half? We've got a massive Hungry Jacks halftime highlights package for you. Don't go anywhere. Of basketball here at John Cain Arena, and only 2 points separates Melbourne United and the Adelaide 36ers. Chris Goulding got into some form in that second quarter. He got hot and he liked the look of his matchup too. He said, DJ Vasiljevic, I've got this. Every single time they went to Chris Goulding, he looked like he was going to go to the basket. But Adelaide 36ers, they're holding their own in this. Here's your halftime stats, Gazy. Anything there that stands out to you?
Well, like I said just before we went to the break, Melbourne United, they're only down by 2 and they're not shooting the ball all that well. 35% from the field. Pretty solid from the three-point line, poor from the three-point line at 5 of 18. But on their flip side, Adelaide 36 is pretty solid from the three-point line. So there's very little between these two teams, but just the defensive pressure that Melbourne United have had to are trying to execute hasn't always been rewarded in their half court. Zion Cheatham was able to find a way to get to the basket. The energy looks good. The energy and the activity has been good, but it hasn't always found a way to get stops.
You know what? The energy didn't look good in that huddle just then. Chris Goulding had a lot to say, but he also had a lot to say in the game. He's our halftime Hungry Jacks highlight. Chris Goulding has been good, Leonard, but they're going to need more from others as well.
Absolutely. He got hot because he came out and he had a guy on him that is not used to playing defense. Now, I'm not taking anything away from DJ. DJ's an offensive scorer, but you got to put somebody on this guy who's concentrating on him just to slow him down. You can't give him shots like that. And once he sees that ball go in, he's hard to stop.
Well, he's 3 of 8, and a couple that he's missed are usually bread and butter for him. So it could have been a whole lot more, and as we'd expect, Chris Goulding coming out and being very aggressive, but this guy was as well. He only averages at a little over 11 points a game. He's already got 12 in the first half. A 5 of 9. To talk about Chris Goulding, missed a couple. He missed 2 dunks.
He missed 2 dunks, yes.
2 dunks and a gimme layup, so it could have been even more productive for Zion Cheatham, but clearly, whether it's Mike Wells, the Adelaide 36ers, but clearly in that first half, he was a way more aggressive on the offensive end than we've seen him in recent games.
Can I just say, we've also had mishaps all over the floor. Zylan Cheatham missed a couple of buddies. Leonard Copeland's dropped a whole drink over his shirt.
Pepsi Cola, all of them.
Plenty is happening here, but let's talk about the big story out of the first half, and it's Bryce Cotton. He's the man for the Adelaide 36ers, and he came up a bit ginger after this layup. It's a back issue we're looking at, and he went straight to the locker room after he came back out. Is this a concern for Adelaide, Gazy?
Oh, my word. Anytime the best player in the competition is come up a little lame, there's great concerns. Now, they do have depth, and perhaps it's not just this game at what lies ahead, but to me that looked like there was a bit of a jolt on his hip.
Bad landing. Bad landing.
Didn't have that cushioning on that layup attempt, but you know, he's been in this situation many times before, so I would not be surprised if he plays in this second half and comes out and drops 30.
And Jack said he's going to be a hard man to keep down. I reckon we'll see him in the second half of the game, but I'll make sure that I go and find out some information. We have a massive game of Sunday afternoon hoops coming up tomorrow, 2:30 p.m. right back here. The Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, who are sitting top of the table up against the Sydney Kings. I cannot wait for this one, and I cannot wait for the second half that we've got coming up after this. Don't go anywhere, guys. Second half action after this. Welcome back to the Hungry Jacks NBL. We had Bryce Cotton, who was scoreless and sore in that second term, but good news for 36ers and league fans. He is back out and he was warming up heading into this second term. I do have to ask you guys though, Shea Ili has played only 6 minutes in this game. We know he came in with minutes restrictions. But does that play into this game as the game moves on? How much does Melbourne United need Shea Ili to cover the presence of Bryce Cotton?
Well, he was a game-time decision. He's carrying some injury issues right throughout the season, and we heard Dean Vickerman in the pre-game show that they're not taking any risks whatsoever with him because they're looking at the bigger picture. So I don't think it's any great surprise that he's played limited minutes. But he doesn't have to play big minutes to have an impact. A couple of stops here or there. We already saw a steal and created a bucket. Unfortunately for him, he missed a wide open shot. But there he is, Bryce Cotton, the superstar. And he's walking around and he's always got a pretty business-like approach with his facial expressions. But does seem to have just a little bit more concern about his own situation.
Well, I'm telling you right now, if I'm playing against Bryce Cotton, I'm going to check and see if you're ready to go, Bryce. I want to just see what those legs look like.
It's just interesting watching him stretch the back out there and the hamstrings. So he'll be a big watch to start the third quarter. Nick Rakocevic out there starting for Adelaide with Isaac Humphrey sitting down with 3 fouls. And Jesse Edwards managed to walk the tightrope and got to halftime with the 2 fouls.
And played well.
Yeah.
Knocked down a 3-ball, made a bucket, a couple of second shots. And with Jesse Edwards with those fouls, you suspect that they'd go at him as well. So I think both these teams throwing the ball down low and getting a few more post touches would be helpful.
Big noise inside John Cain Arena, second half. Adelaide and Melbourne, the 3rd chapter for the season, and Tyson Walker straight away gets to the cup.
He's just so quick off the dribble. Uses that speed, focuses on the basket, makes it look easy.
9 points for the evening. It's been a little quiet offensively. Tyson Walker.
Oh,
Cheatham goes straight at Jesse Edwards, which was what they spoke about the back end of that second quarter. Dean Vickerman can only look on as his big man picks up his 3rd.
Yeah, that'll cause Dean Vickerman the time to pause and think about what's best to do.
Tell you what, you better make a decision quick because if he gets that 4th, there is no decision to make. You come on over here and sit down next to me, son.
What would you do, Drewy?
I think you'd give him to see if he can buy a few more minutes here. It's a long time, and this is a start of this second half, a pretty important phase that they've got to go through, but he's got to do a better job of preventing half running. I know there's a little cross screen, but can't let Rakocevic catch the ball or Cheatham catch the ball on the box.
Well, Mike Wells spoke about going after him.
They did exactly what Mike Wells asked them to do.
He slipped over Edwards and then gave it up into the waiting arms of Cotton, who blows past Golding, and the back looks fine.
Oh, the leg's all right. The back's all right. He's fine.
He's fine now. Usually those things, they might wake up a little stiff. Chris Golding has just been given way too much room in this one. 18 points on 5 of 11.
And that's where you don't have that stopper.
And that looked a little sore from Bryce right in front of us. And he gets to work on Walker, though. He can't be stopped.
That's pretty. One, the ability to get that close to the rim, but the soft hands in the finish. Beautiful by Bryce.
Pass underneath. Edwards found a wide open Finn Delaney.
That's a great pass.
Yeah, it is.
Trading buckets early in quarter number 3. There's been very little separating these two teams all night long. Cheatham tees up another one and buries it. What a night Zylan Cheatham's having.
With ease.
Well, they're 6 of 15, 40% from the 3-point line.
17 points now to go with 4 rebounds. He's having an enormous impact. Now the handoff for Cotton, who thought he was fouled.
Cheatham would just be a delight to play with if you're Bryce Cotton, because he knows how to get him the ball. Even when he's on the box, the dribble handoffs, just so conscious of knowing that you've got to play through Bryce. And there's a travel.
Yes, bud. Yeah.
14 points for Bryce Cotton, but frustration building.
And they brought in Jenkins, who we thought was going to take some of the pressure off Bryce, but he hasn't been able to get going.
We hasn't seen a lot of it, Coach.
Rakocevic for his second 3.
He's talking trash, big fella.
Oh, who's he talking to?
Well, he's talking to the coach, and he said,
I told you.
I told you I can make him.
1 for 300.
2.
And then he got a little piece of golding there. He's fired up, Nick Rakocevic.
Coach might have told him, we don't want you shooting threes.
Can't say I've seen too many times where a player knocks down a 3 and sprays the coach, but here we are.
Oh, twice. Turnover.
Let's have a look at the celebration here, Coach.
The big fella is in his feelings, bro. Told you I could make these threes. Pass me the ball. Got Bryce shooting all these threes.
Well, the data suggests that this is the anomaly.
Wow.
It's Adelaide who lead, 53-46. Melbourne looking a little clunky again. Krislovic has to throw something up. Rebound number 6 for Zylan Cheatham. Adelaide with a chance to really scoot ahead here with the score off this possession. Jenkins got it! Timeout Melbourne. The 36ers make a massive move in the third quarter.
It is, and they come up with some good stops and been able to convert. And the three-point line has been their friend.
Well, Nick Rakocevic has given us a couple of celebrations tonight. It might not be the weirdest or the funniest thing that's happened tonight, because this is as we were headed to quarter time.
Oh, here we go.
Take a look at the 2-time NBL champion.
Look at this. Look at my 2 colleagues here. Just going nuts. Look at these guys, man. Oh.
Just did himself a mischief.
Oh, man. Thank you, guys. Thanks for that. Appreciate it. Nobody tried to help. No towels. No nothing. I'm walking around with a big stain on my chest now. Look like I didn't wash my shirt.
Well, we didn't think you were like a 12-year-old.
No. Good. You shook it up and you moved it. Somebody moved the drink and shook it up.
No point blaming us.
Come on, man.
You got to own it sometimes, Coach. 56-46. Adelaide owning this third quarter.
It is. It's been a positive start, and you know what? They've got some stops, but they've given up a couple of easy buckets as well. So it's channeling in the right direction. Melbourne United have made the change. Milton Doyle's come on to try and give him a bit more of a spark. Jesse Edwards checks out of the game. And Illy back in the contest.
They've gone pretty cold all of a sudden, Melbourne. There's 7 points in quarter number 3. Tanner Krebs has had limited opportunities tonight. He can't connect. Kelsey Brown was listening in.
Obviously, Nick Rakocevic was happy about that 3, but Dean Vickerman wasn't. He said, 3s from their bigs, what are we doing? He's in true Dean Vickerman fashion, though, as well. He's asked for a lot more pace from Melbourne United. He said, this group, I need you to start running.
Well, what I suspect it's probably changed the defensive strategy. If you look at the numbers on some of these players with both Cheatham and Rakocevic, would be like, yeah, carry a hand.
But don't worry too much about them.
But you don't need to all-out pressure and expose yourself to the drive. But the way they've played to start this one, and given that they've skipped away, I'm a little surprised to see Chris Golding getting a rest, because offense has been a challenge for them. 37%, and he's got 18 of their 46.
Oh,
They have scored the last 11 points in the game, Adelaide. Nick Rakocevic is playing like a man possessed.
absolutely. He's having a game. And they're going to leave him out there.
So normally that rotation would have been Rakocevic, but Mike Wells calls the number of Zylan Cheatham instead. Double-digit lead for Adelaide, the first time for either team in the game to lead by such a margin. Doyle with a hand in the face, that is tough. And that's what it looks like for Melbourne right now. Everything's tough.
And you're right, Drew, I'm surprised. This is when you need CG. Oh,
There it is, and again we're seeing a 3 or 4 minute period where Melbourne United is struggling to score. And that puts enormous pressure on your defence when you can't keep the scoreboard ticking over.
Getting Milton Doyle involved would be a handy start for them. Has just 4 points in the game. He's so smooth.
yeah. He can get himself going. They got to get some stops on this other end, though.
Five minutes remaining in the third quarter. Cotton, as always, attracts a crowd. Rakocevic, the spin and the find for Humphries.
He's having a game, man. He's having a game. Block shots, hidden threes, Steph Curry style.
Dropping passes.
This is the best we've seen Nick Rakocevic in his first season in the league. Krebs from deep.
And we know he can do that. He carried this team early in the season.
38% for the season. That time for Rakocevic. Illy surveys the options. Drag it back out for plan B. Rakocevic isolated. Bowen's little push is deep.
Short-armed it. Had a bit more time than he thought. And the pressure again from Rakocevic and Isaac Humphries around the rim forced him into a rush shot.
Jenkins run off the line. He threw it inside with force to Humphries. Clock's about to beat Adelaide. And now the 36ers having a couple of minutes where guys are standing in the same spot and not being where they need to be, which they are capable of doing, Adelaide, having these little patches in games.
This is when you need that rotation. You need guys coming in, you need fresh legs. And he's made a change. He's brought in DJ.
Jenkins goes out, and Cheatham comes back in for Rakocevic.
Golding remains on the Melbourne United bench. And Delaney misses Edwards altogether, which is hard to do. He's 7 foot.
Oh, a lot of changes going on, and you mentioned about those fresh legs, but it's a balancing act. They got 12 up. Do you just try and stay with the same group and get it out to 16 because they've had that run? And that's one of the tough decisions that coaches have got to make.
8 of 18, make that 8 of 19 for the night from Adelaide from deep. Doyle starting to find a way to get involved. Oh, that's not the way that he was hoping for them.
Very hard to win a game against the Adelaide 36ers shooting at 35%, which is what Melbourne United are doing. They've had some good looks, good attacks on the rim, and just...
Is CG hurt? No, he's been off for a while, hasn't he?
The battle between Walker and Cotton continues. 14 points for the night for the league's best player, but he's had that one dispossessed. Cheatham on a rescue mission, and that catches a foot. As Chris Golding remains at the end of the Melbourne bench. 16 minutes for the night, has 18 points. Certainly the feeling from this commentary desk is that he should be out there right now. Jenkins pulls up. Cotton, I should say, pulls up. Offensive rebound fortuitously fell into the arms of Humphries.
Got to be good for his confidence.
They needed that, Adelaide. Just a little steadier.
Oh, gee. Sloppy. Rushed by Melbourne United. Chris Golding comes back in. Milton Doyle checks out. He doesn't look overly enthused about being substituted out of the ball game.
It's funny how we sit here and we see the faces of these guys going in and out. Just wondering if we were like that, Drew. Well, Drew, you never came out, so probably couldn't tell with you. But
I don't recall you coming out often.
Oh, here we go.
Thank you.
As I was sitting in the stands watching you tear our hearts out. Great pass, Cheatham for Humphries. The connection's back for Adelaide.
Yes.
That's the penetrating the paint. Melbourne United renowned. Their calling card's been their defense the last few seasons, but it's looked...
Oh, it's another foul on 4 on Edwards, and...
It's an elbow. It was on the roll, trying to roll, and...
Dean Vickerman is not happy.
He has to come out of the game now. Let's have a look at the replay.
Boom, right there in the face. He's trying to fight him off, but...
It is, and he didn't need to do that. But it is soft. And it's just really the size difference between the two. It wasn't as if there was any huge advantage.
36ers by 13. They lead this quarter 23 points to 12.
Had Cheatham. Had Cheatham on the alley-oop.
Cheatham might have just suggested something similar to Vasiljevic.
Hey, bro, next time I pass you the ball, have a look, son.
I want it back.
That's right. Oh.
No,
Now that's an interesting whistle.
Well, it is. If anything, it looked like it was a foul on Delaney in the reach-in. And Isaac Humphrey, he's going to review it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Coach's challenge, Adelaide.
They spent a little bit of time standing at their video reviews laptop.
You must have seen something.
Well, we're across the other side of the floor, but
It looked like a foul, didn't it?
it looked like a foul, but I don't know. Right now, they're just going to check the out of bounds. Right. There's a foul. Hits his arm. It comes off Humphries, though. But that's an unlucky one because there's a clear foul there, isn't there, Copes?
Yeah.
This is looking to be unsuccessful for Adelaide.
Nice lead by the Adelaide 36ers. 13-point lead.
So 1:33 remaining in the quarter here, Drewy. Do you take this opportunity to give Bryce Cotton a little extra
Well, that's that juggling
oxygen back in the lungs? What do you do here?
Well, you got to find some time for him. But right now, as he's probably thinking, well, with 13 up, we have a chance now to, last minute and a half, a couple more possessions, we can get this out to 16-18. It's a long way back for Melbourne United. But they can't get a stop.
That's a good possession out of the timeout. Finn Delaney has 9 points. Who is going to be the man for Melbourne? Adelaide have had Cotton, Cheatham and Rakocevic all stand up and play big roles. And there's that man who is having himself some sort of performance.
And that's what happens when Edwards gets into foul trouble. There's nobody in there that can play big basketball.
Kristovic's a warrior, but he's undersized in this league when some of the guys he's got to go up against. And there's two super athletics and taller guys that he's got to deal with Cheatham and Rakocevic. And it's a big ask.
Game high 14-point lead for the 36ers, and it comes at a crucial stage in the game. Vukocevic knocks that clear for Cotton. And
Drew, if you had to guess, who needs to win more?
Well, right now, Melbourne United, because they're lower down on the table and they're trying to avoid a sudden death play-in game.
Vukocevic travels.
Now, there's a bit going on between Bryce Cotton and Walker.
Yes, sir.
Bryce has had enough of him, I think.
It was out of vision, but at the top of the key, Bryce Cotton just slapped Walker's arms, and there was just a hint of frustration from Bryce.
I can't give you any feedback from the other side of the court looking through Fabian's back.
Tyson Walker has worn Bryce Cotton like a second skin all night. And I think he's had enough. Shot clock at 10. Krislovic no good on the 3 ball. Cheatham got after it. Smart play to get the ball back for Adelaide.
We look at the one we were talking about a little earlier with Bryce Cotton out the top of the key. There you see it right there, and then he just goes,
Get your hands off me, sucker.
well, I don't think that's what he said.
Called him a sucker.
Yeah, Drew, that's what he said.
He found some space now, Cotton. He misses out. Krebs unloads from halfway. Melbourne with some serious work to do at three-quarter time because the Adelaide 36ers found themselves in their happy place in the third quarter. A 26-point third term gives them a 67-53 lead with a quarter to play here on Saturday Night Hoops. It's the Hungry Jacks NBL. Stick with us. We're going down to the wire.
A 14-point lead to the Adelaide 36ers as we head into this final term for Saturday Night Hoops at John Cain Arena. You're watching the Hungry Jacks NBL. I listened into Dean Vickerman at that break. And Melbourne's vulnerabilities on the defensive end are still on show. He spoke about too many passing, too many dunks, have too many communication breakdowns in defense, and there's one of them again. He's not happy with them getting on the glass as well, and he spoke about them running out of time. He's asked for way more effort on this offensive end as well.
Yeah, it is, and you saw another example of it there. And absolutely, the defense is a problem, but they only had 14 points in the third quarter. And yeah, that's got to be their focus. I get it, but somehow or other, you got to figure out a way to get more than 14, particularly when you're playing catch-up.
Absolutely, you do. And Golding spent a lot of that time on the bench.
Can't run deep.
I got him on. I know he's 37. I got him on the floor 14 minutes. the way he gets going.
Melbourne have won 19 of the last 22 games between these two at John Cain Arena. Vasiljevic is 0 of 5 for the night. Has not been able to get himself involved in this contest at all. Oh, Delaney left his layup short.
See, right now, that's an example of perceived pressure, not actual pressure. There was no one there to contest it. So when things aren't going right for you and you can't score, everything becomes a whole lot tougher, and that just did everything but go into Bryce Cotton.
Great look for Doyle. He's one that they definitely need to get going.
Yeah, he needs to get going. He can carry a team. Oh.
Only 9 points for the night for Milton Doyle. In their last 3 wins, he's averaged 17 points, 4 rebounds, 4.5 assists. So when he's playing well, they've been winning. Turnover Adelaide.
On the Amy replay, you look at Milton Doyle, and he was one that we said right from the start of the game that they need to get him playing at his highest level if they're going to win a championship. We haven't seen a lot of it tonight, but that'll do his confidence the world of good to step in and see a 3-ball go in.
Walker spins past Cheatham, who stalked him all the way to the cup. Big denial from Zylan Cheatham.
Yeah, good pressure by Cheatham. He's always going to have problems keeping the little fella in front, but when it comes to playing around the rim, advantage Cheatham.
Full deck of numbers for Zylan Cheatham tonight. 17 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks, plus 16 for the evening.
DJ's been struggling, trying to get himself going.
But almost to a point where sometimes when you're 0 of 5 and it's not there, I'm a little surprised that we haven't seen John Jenkins just back in.
And some of Melbourne's offensive possessions have been hard to watch in the second half. Cameron.
Oh. They're leaving some points out there because they've had some good looks. They just haven't been able to knock them down.
They are on the edge of the cliff face right now, Melbourne, with their hands hanging on and their fingernails dragging down. Hold on Rakocevic.
Yeah, the Adelaide 36ers had a couple of opportunities to really put the dagger in. And we saw it a couple of nights ago again in Illawarra. Up 9, up 10, 7 or 8 minutes to go. And in that game, it was similar too. They had some opportunities to really make it difficult. Allowed Illawarra to hang around. DJ Vasiljevic coming out, and he's not happy. But based on what we've seen, there are times when you just know that it's not my night.
A great pass by Chris Dolan. Touch pass.
Beautifully executed. They clearly watched the game the other night because we saw a similar action against the Illawarra Hawks on how Adelaide are trying to guard the underneath out of bounds.
They still lead by double digits though, and they've still got Bryce Cotton.
They waved it off. They said it was before the shot.
They've done a reasonable job of quelling his influence. He does have 14 points, but
he's had to work for him, that's for sure.
He's only a couple of moments away from completely finishing off Melbourne. Flynn Cameron would love to do the same. United trail by 11. Oh, wonderful athleticism from Cheatham to knock that away from Edwards.
He jumped late and still got there, didn't he?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Standing vertical leap. Golding steps back. O-board from Edwards. Had it knocked away by Cotton. He's finally managed to find a way to extract himself clear of Tyson Walker-Cotton.
I think what both teams need to do is leave the referees alone and focus on what's going on the court and stop worrying about fouls because they lose focus.
19 for the night now for Zylan Cheatham. He's the game's leading scorer.
Well, the Bigs have really dominated this one for the 36ers.
So Mike Wells calls a timeout. His team up 13. Perhaps just to give them a little spell. 71-58. Game on the line right now. The body language right now of Melbourne is telling.
They don't have enough offense on the floor, Joey. Right now, yes, they're struggling on the defensive end, but you still got to put the ball in the hole, man. You cannot. Defense is great. Defense wins championships. That's what I heard anyway. Well, offense is right there as well.
Yeah, that's right, Cokes. And, you know, the game is so heavily weighted in favour of the offense. So, absolutely, your defense and your defensive principles, your energy and effort, vital. But ultimately, you need to be able to find ways to score and score consistently.
Yep.
And the challenge is to try and create better looks. And this one, Adelaide 36ers so far have been able to create better looks.
(71-58) in the Tangerine timeout. The Adelaide 36ers have dominated the second half and lead by 13. The ladder predictor is getting harder and harder by the minute. Jump on the NBL website right now with thanks to the wonderful team at Mitsubishi Motors, who they never get anything wrong when it comes to predicting or selecting or designing. It is pure precision. You can do just the same on the NBL ladder predictor.
Oh, my word, they certainly got the Mitsubishi Outlander spot on. Oof.
Jenkins, Cheatham, Cotton, Humphreys, Cameron out there for Adelaide. Zylan Cheatham. He's going to cause some serious carnage. Bowen got up ahead. And the points will count.
Chris Goulding upset. He thought he got hit with an elbow on that last possession. They were able to get the stop. Let's have a look.
Sure,
maybe a head clash.
Play on. Still just got a little bit of sweat on the floor. 18 points, 4 of 10 from deep. Chris Goulding tonight. 21 minutes played. Bryce Cotton, on the other hand, has played 34 minutes tonight. He averages 37.5 across this NBL 26 season. His team are in a winning position right now, but they're not there yet. Shot clock at 7.
Well, it is, and given the defensive problems that the Adelaide 36ers have had, to hold Melbourne United to 60 with 5 remaining. In their last 7 games, they've averaged, given up almost 100 a game.
Yeah, we spoke about that, yeah.
And they look up and see 60. Now, some of that you can contribute to them with their pace of play.
Two more for Humphreys.
That's the Humphreys I'm talking about right there. When you got him going, now you don't have to focus on Cotton as much.
He's always had wonderful touch for a big man, hasn't he?
And great footwork as well.
And that's been really much a signature play of this game by the Adelaide 36ers, the penetration and drop-off. There's all the traffic, gets it to Humphreys, him, Kosovic, Cheatham getting in that dunker spot or around the rim, and they've done well.
And to get a win here today, all those little problems that everyone keeps talking about sort of subside. You start to feel like a real team again.
I'm still not confident this one's point
No.
at that stage yet, Coach.
I'm not either, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, it would be helpful for sure.
It would be helpful.
Tanner Krebs, Finn Delaney, Jesse Edwards coming to the scorer's table. Cotton over the top.
And what a pass. Reverse the roles. This time it's Humphries to Cotton.
You know, Melbourne's got to pick it up, though. Melbourne's got to, the tempo has to get going here.
Big play from Isaac White. Adelaide have got the numbers up ahead. Melbourne survive. Cotton, Elliott, I should say, gets past Cotton, head down. He'll be shooting free throws. 4 minutes, 10 seconds remaining.
Well, the challenge just got a whole lot tougher. Chris Goulding has come out of the game. Dean Vickerman asked if he's okay, and unfortunately for Melbourne United fans, Chris Goulding is going straight to the locker room, and that calf has been troublesome for him throughout the season, may be the issue yet again.
That does not look good. The Harlem Globetrotters look good. They always look good when they come to town. They're celebrating 100 years in 2026.
Yep.
Scan the QR code, grab your tickets.
Sure, you'll be able to give me some tickets, won't you? Friends with a couple of those guys, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
Oh.
But I'm happy to, love to be. Put on a great show.
Oh.
Extended pressure, and it pays off.
Unforced error.
Oh, no. That's just
And then Melbourne give it straight back.
in a rush. Didn't need to get rid of it that quickly. Walker coming back on, and I like the substitution. Illy comes out.
Adelaide need to take care of the ball, get a good shot every time. What they can't do is turn it over and give Melbourne the opportunity here.
And right now, Adelaide 36 is prepared to use the clock. They're looking for a shot in the last 6 seconds of the possession, not the first 8.
Cameron winds it down to 7.
Oh, another turnover.
Cheatham lost it. Melbourne knew what was coming. And Doyle is fouled by Cameron on the floor.
16 turnovers now for the Adelaide 36ers. It's really just been the poor shooting, 34% for Melbourne United, and give a lot of credit for Adelaide with the way in which they've been able to defend and control the tempo with the way they've played offensively.
3 minutes and 39 seconds left. Tangerine timeout. 75-63. Kelsey Brown courtside.
Here's an opportunity for the Adelaide 36ers. Chris Goulding's out the back. We haven't seen him resurface since he left. But Jesse Edwards has been on 4 fouls for the whole of this quarter. And at three-quarter time, Dean Vickerman said, play hard for 3 minutes. I'll bring you back out. Make sure you take care of it. I just don't think the Adelaide 36ers have gone at him enough in this final term. I know they're up by 12 at the moment, and Melbourne United have a bit to do, but there is an opportunity if you could have Chris Goulding out of the game and Jesse Edwards.
And Kelsey doing her homework. Go to work, girlfriend. Hey, she knows what she's talking about, though, doesn't she?
Sure does.
Well
Sure
done.
does. You better watch yourself. She can sit in your chair.
Hey,
You'd never be able to do her job.
no way.
You don't listen.
No, sir.
Well, I think the issue with Chris Goulding goes beyond just this game. That was a really scary sight if you're a Melbourne United fan. He's got 18 points, 15 of those coming in the first half.
There's only 3 games left in the regular season, I should say, for Melbourne. Next week they go to Cairns on Thursday. They're back here against Illawarra on Sunday. And then the Phoenix on the Thursday of the final round.
And Shea's still not 100%.
Beautifully executed play coming out of the timeout, and just keeps them hanging around.
It's back to 9. Now, Adelaide need a score this trip down the floor just to calm their nerves a little bit as we approach 3 minutes. The plot starting to thicken in the 4th quarter at John Cain Arena. Doyle for 2 more. That jumps out. Wow. Humphries was excellent. He retrieved that from his ankles and found a way to score.
I've been saying it all game long. Get the man the ball. He's good enough.
Well, it's a settler, that's for sure. Some nervous moments, and here's that action coming out of the timeout to get Milton Doyle a good look. 14 points for him, 6 of 14 from the field. 22 minutes of action.
The story for Melbourne is the fitness of Chris Goulding right now. Kelsey Brown has got an update.
No official update from Melbourne United. They've told me he's back out on the bench, but let me tell you, he is rubbing that left half. He looks uncomfortable. He also looks resigned to the fact that he won't see the next 2 minutes 45 out there as well. So big news for Melbourne United. As I said, it's not official yet, but Chris Goulding looks in a little bit of pain here, and that's a worry for Melbourne United, like you said, going forward.
Tyson Walker takes matters into his own hands.
That's tough.
Huge play.
That is tough. Smallest down on the floor, goes in, bumps chest, Joey, and still gets the N1.
It is, and this is what you got to do if you're a little fella. You see the big there, go into his body. Try and get some separation and a chance for an N1 just to keep the hope alive.
He was huge when they played in round 6. Hit the game winner from the corner. He leaves one out there, but gets after it. That's where he knocked it down in round 6. Not that time. Doyle. What a roll. 6-point game.
Now Adelaide are trying to play not to lose. They got to be aggressive.
They squandered a 16-point lead on Thursday night. They led by 16 early stages here tonight. Cheatham almost turns it over. They need to be cool and calm here, Adelaide, and they're doing their best to turn it over.
And because it's a foot violation, it's going to add an extra 10 seconds. It happened with 4 remaining. So, but that, because of the violation, pushes it back out to 14 seconds. And it'll chew just a little bit more time off the clock.
2 minutes and 7 seconds left. 36ers must score off this possession. Cotton comes up short. United doing this without Chris Goulding. Walker.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
From 16 points down, we've got ourselves a 3-point ball game with 1:40 remaining. The twists and turns of the NBL on full show. Humphries huge at the other end.
This guy comes through for him.
It's where he's at his best. It's the pick and roll with Isaac Humphries and the pass from the little fella to get it through the hands of Edwards. And a foul and a chance for an N1. Big play by Isaac Humphries.
Big second half. Gives Adelaide a 6-point advantage.
Wow. So I don't know why they're taking him out of the game. They bring Rakocevic back in, but I'm not sure. Maybe they feel he's a better defensive option. I don't know whether that's what I'd be doing at this stage.
Walker's got a full head of steam. O-board from Edwards. United can reset. The tension builds inside John Cain Arena. Strong, safe, athletic rebound from Zylan Cheatham. His 9th of the evening. The clock is still Melbourne's friend, and Jesse Edwards fouls out.
It was a desperation play, a swipe from behind to try and get a deflection. And he's a little disappointed, as you'd expect. And Chris Goulding is coming back on the floor. Now this is purely for offense. He's going to come down there, sit in the spot, and at the very least, he's going to spread the floor, because you have to stay connected with him. And if you don't, and he gets it, He's letting a 3-ball fly, but he's limping.
Deep breath for Flynn Cameron. Great composure from the youngster. Makes both. 82-74. Business time. Golding trapped in the corner. Purely as a decoy. Opened up a path for Tanner Krebs.
Smart play.
The clock remains Adelaide's friend. Cotton can suck the life out of this game. They get the ball out of his hands and the benchmark gets it back. Shot clock at 6. He wants to be the man to beat them. Rakocevic.
Oh, dear.
Tips it in. Adelaide take the advantage and Nick Rakocevic making a name for himself.
He's out of game. He's out of game, Jack. He's out of game, son.
20 points, 8 of 9 from the field. And look at the rebound count, Coach. 12.
Wow.
And that's the risk you take. They went small ball for what they wanted to do on the offensive end, but it makes it tough. And they weren't able to stop the second chance points, and Rakocevic with a easy putback. But he's had a game. He came out and shot the 3-ball, knocked down a couple. That got him excited. And then they found him. Some of the defense you see here, not highly connected on him, but he's been good enough to punish them.
They have not been able to find a way to stop the trio of big men. Rakocevic, Humphries, Cheatham have been superb tonight. There have been nights for Adelaide where the 3 big men haven't worked, but tonight is not one of those. Tonight it's been a huge advantage for them.
Absolutely. And Joe asked you this question earlier, who needs this win more? I thought Adelaide needed it more because of all the stuff going on with them. They're down as a team. The camaraderie's not the same. Is what we're hearing anyway.
That's what I'm saying.
Could be wrong. Could be wrong. But let me tell you something. A win like this, and we're partying again, son.
I don't know about partying.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, Jack, we're partying, son.
Well, they don't play again until Saturday, so why not?
Well, it certainly would relieve a lot of tension.
You start to like your teammates again. You start to like your teammates again.
Gee, that is now, that's Melbourne right in the drop zone from a play-in perspective. That has, if the season finished today, that would be Melbourne and Tasmania in a sudden death play-in.
And we know Tasmania love to come to Melbourne, don't they?
Gee. The Jack Jumpers are running out of soldiers, but they'll be up for a challenge of playing Melbourne in a one-off game.
I think this game, though, it does say a bit about Melbourne United and where they're at. The spectacular start to the season clearly wasn't sustainable for them. And the combination of some players' form just going off ever so slightly and other teams figuring out how to guard them has made it more difficult for him.
You've been in that head coaching role, Julie. What's Dean's message if he loses this game? What does he say at the end of the game?
Well, right now, he's still going to try and focus in on the positives, but and somehow or other keep the group together and keep believing. And that's hard. That's hard to keep the belief when you've just lost a very important home game. And to put it all on the coach is what we do, but it's not the explanation.
Tomorrow, back here at John Cain Arena, another sellout crowd, the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix and the Sydney Kings right now on form. The 2 hottest teams in the competition. That is going to be a huge one tomorrow on Sunday Hoops, but tonight, reports of Adelaide's demise have been greatly exaggerated. Winners at John Cain Arena, 87-76. The 36ers can breathe a sigh of relief.
And Mike Welch just breathed a huge sigh of relief towards us.
Yes,
So I
he did.
think that perhaps there is an element.
I told you, yes, sir.
Because he was very relieved.
Yep.
And hats off to him. hold Melbourne United to 76 points, given the troubles that they've had more recently. It's to his credit and his team's credit the way they've responded.
There was a period in that game, particularly in the second quarter and then into the third for Adelaide, where things were starting to just get a little bit disassembled and they kind of lost their way a little bit, Coach. But they hit the start of the fourth quarter leading by 16. They saw Melbourne's challenge off and found a way. This is a massive win for the 36ers.
Massive win, man. I keep saying it. It's a better win. The win's for the locker room. I mean, yeah, you want to stay in first place or you want to be in second place. But these guys, when they start looking at the hugs, look at the hugs. They're enjoying themselves now.
Well, Kelsey normally just talks to one player post-game, but I think she's talking to the whole team.
I never thought Zylan Cheatham would be a guy that said he needs his guys with him to do an interview, but Zylan, we spoke about this before the game, how big it was. Whoever walked away with this win was going to be a big winner. How important was this one to get on this floor?
Super important for us. I mean, it's been a tough month. It's been a tough year so far. Dropped a couple we probably shouldn't have dropped. But we're a no-excuse team. You know, we took accountability. We got back to work. We didn't hang our heads, and we came out here and executed tonight.
We know it's been a tough week for you. You've just alluded to that. How much of an impact did that have on you guys? All of the noise from the outside. You did get a little bit rocked in that game against Illawarra, but you seem to have turned it around. How much did it impact the team?
Yeah, I mean, personally, I think it impacted us positively. I mean, today we got a big lead. Kind of let them come back a little bit, kind of the same, it had the same similar feel of Illawarra, and we learned from our lessons though. And today we executed, we took those lessons and we made them a positive today, so I'm proud of my guys.
You wanted the big guys to come and be around you. Talk to me about Nick Rakocevic and Isaac Humphries. Their performances today alongside yours were massive.
I'm just so proud of those guys, man. They work. I mean, they never hang their heads. They always walk around with a smile. I mean, Nick has had a tough year, a couple suspensions, a couple bad plays, but we believe in him. It's the reason he's here. Ice has been here, man. I'm just proud of my guys, and they did a lot. They did a lot for us tonight.
Last one from me. There's been a lot of question marks around this group being able to go ahead and win a championship. A lot of question marks on the makeup of the roster. Do you believe this team has what it takes?
Yeah, I mean, well, everybody else's opinion is not our reality. You know what I mean? We know what we have in this locker room. We beat every team.
He gotta go. I'm sorry.
Love y'all.
And poor old Kelsey gets another interview hijacked. It's becoming a weekly event now. Adelaide win 87-76. They're smiling. They've had a challenging couple of weeks. They've had a lot of questions asked about them as a group, asked about their coach. Already you can see it, Coach, just in the space of the last couple of minutes that it's galvanised them.
Winning solves a lot of problems, Jack. And look at the smiles on their faces, man. They know they're a good team. Yes, they've had their ups and downs, but when you're playing this hard and you're playing like this and you're playing for your teammates, the good things happen.
It's a super talented team, and look, they get back on top of the ladder. We got the game tomorrow. And with that win, and you look at Adelaide's schedule, you suspect that hasn't secured it, but put them in a very favourable position to finish in the top two. And that makes that challenge tomorrow's game between Southeast Melbourne Phoenix and Sydney, well, it's a mini final in itself to make the top two.
That game is going to be an absolute corker tomorrow, as was tonight. It's the 36ers who win it this evening in front of a sold-out crowd at John Cain Arena, 87-76. We're going to come back and wrap up what has been a fascinating night on the other side of this. It was the win that Adelaide needed to have, 87-76. They come to Melbourne and win in impressive fashion. 3 times over the course of the game, they had questions asked, they were challenged, and they found a way to win, and you can see what it means to them.
Well, you look at the scoreboard and you think, pretty comfortable margin, but with almost 2 minutes to go, Melbourne United were good enough to cut it to 3, and a couple of big plays, none bigger than that 3-point play by Isaac Humphries. We look at the stats, and 35% for Melbourne United. You just can't win games at this level, at the top end of the table, shooting it at 35%, 28% from the three-point line is not good enough. They only got to the free throw line 11 times, 7 of 11. So, but the full credit to the Adelaide 36ers. They showed composure, they showed maturity, they showed great skill, and they went to where they had an advantage.
So we kind of know what we're going to get with Adelaide. We know that Bryce Cotton will be there, Zylan Cheatham and Isaac Humphries, DJ Vasiljevic. Nick Rakocevic really came up tonight as one that perhaps even Melbourne hadn't put that much work into. 20 points to go with 12 rebounds. He was enormous.
Oh, he was special. And you're right. Dean Bickerman would have scouted him, but he wouldn't have been worried more. He would have been more worried about Bryce Cotton and the other guys. And Rakocevic came out and played great basketball, shot the ball well, got himself going. You know, let the crowd know that he can knock down the threes, rebounded the ball well, made good passes, had a couple of blocks. He was special.
He's had a couple of suspensions across the season and can get a little emotional at times, but he was in his flow state tonight. He was in the right place. And he played a very, very important role, as did Zylan Cheatham, Drewy, who is going to be with the Adelaide 36ers for a couple of years now,
Yes.
Cheatham. He's a big part of their future.
No, he's a beauty.
Fabulous tonight.
He was, and he can hurt you in a number of different ways, and his points per game, a little over 11 on the season, but tonight early on, whether it was him or the team, they made a target of him. And I think that Melbourne United, as you look at these highlights, they weren't showing him enough respect. They were backing off and very much protecting around the rim, and he was good enough with those touch shots. He knocked down a couple of 3 balls, and what he also does, he works spectacularly well with Bryce. Bryce is under so much pressure, but he knows the timing about the dribble handoffs of when and how to get Bryce the ball to keep him engaged.
So 2 concerns for Melbourne, Copes. One is obviously their win-loss record. The other is Chris Goulding with a calf concern. Now, he did come back out at the very end of the game, but this is a worry for Melbourne.
Absolutely, it's a worry, because if you lose him, the season's done for me. But then, because Shea Ely's not 100% as well, those are your 2 superstars who keep this team going.
Well, they need points. 76 points. It's very difficult to get wins when you only score 76.
So Adelaide get the job done tonight. Their 22nd win of the season. Tomorrow, it is South East Melbourne and Sydney at John Cain Arena. On behalf of Drewy, Copes, Kelsey Brown and all of our team, thanks so much for being with us tonight. Saturday night hoops delivered, and Sunday hoops will do exactly the same. We'll see you tomorrow.
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jack's and Bunnings Warehouse.